you. All right, we're going to kick things off with what exactly does brain drain mean?
Yeah, well, one, thank you for having me so much and great to see you as well. The summer brain drain is a thing that, as a former teacher and principal, I know all the educators in Denver know as well. It's this thing that we've watched happen year over year. A kid goes away for the summer and they come back knowing a little bit less than they left with. And we have data to
Yeah.
support this. A kid over the course of the summer who's not actively engaged in reading or developing reading skills can lose 20% of the gains they made in the academic year before. These are big losses, and they impact the students' performance the following year, but also they can have a real snowball effect that can last a really long time.
Absolutely. So, with some of the research being done, and what is the science? What is it pointing to?
Yeah. Well, I think first things first, only 36% of fourth graders, 37% of high school students are reading on grade level. So many of our kids are already behind that the summer matters to make sure that they don't get further behind and that we can keep kids on track. We know that kids have to practice. They have to practice those skills to learn those foundational decoding skills and sight words. And then we also have to do work to expand their vocabulary. But it requires practice and it requires time, and parents can create those opportunities at home.
Absolutely. I am a mother of a freshman and a second grader. So this completely speaks to me. So my next question is, what can we do at home to help them and prevent some of that brain drain?
Absolutely. So also a dad here myself, and I have a 6-year-old. So we're in similar boats. We're like
Yeah.
juggling being working parents, trying to get it all done, and also trying to create a summer that feels really joyful while also having these learning opportunities inside of it. So
Mhm.
I think one thing that's really important is that parents shouldn't feel like they need to turn their living room into a classroom. These are about bite-sized opportunities to make reading come alive. I'm a video game guy. That's what we're up to at Mrs. Wordsmith. And I think education video games can really drive some learning that's really important for our kids to have. And so we have a game, Ridiculous. That's what my kid's playing every single morning. He's 6 years old, so he's learning those early literacy skills. He's playing that while I'm cooking breakfast. I get a report every day that tells me, here's what he's learning, here's where he is growing, and here's some opportunity zones for us to reinforce as a family. And then, of course, there's other small ways that we can do it. We're a competitive house, so we like to, choose a word a day from one of our flip books, our word a day flip book, and we choose that word, and then it's a competition in our house who can use it the most in a sentence. There's tabletop games that we can play as a family where we're practicing, expanding our vocabulary. And then, of course, there is just reading, right? Reading to our kids at night before bed, reading to them in the morning. It's hard when we're working and the summer schedules are tough. We just have to find those small bite-sized moments to make it happen.
You're absolutely right. And I think as parents, a lot of that responsibility falls on us to make sure that we're also helping them not get that summer brain drain as well. Okay, here's kind of not a controversy, but a lot of people have different opinions about this. But screen time. How much screen time should we allow our kiddos to have during that summer?
Yeah, it's a great question. You're a parent too, so you're thinking about this.
Yep.
I think it's important to start with, not all screen time is created equal. And so everything our kids are doing is not the same. A kid playing a learning video game where they're building vocabulary skills for 30 minutes is very different than scrolling social media for 2 hours, right? And so we need to be, as parents, really smart consumers around what we put in front of our kid, what we're allowing them to do. And I like a dosage that's a little but often, right? So you get to play for 30 minutes and then you're doing something else. You get to play for an hour here or watch something for an hour, and then we're off the screens for 2. It's just building a cadence that makes sense, but also, summers are hard and our schedules are turned upside down. So it's going easy on ourselves as parents, but also knowing what we're putting in front of them and that it's good stuff.
Yeah, no, great advice. And before I let you go, what do you do, or what are some tips from you personally to promote education and literacy at home, especially throughout those summer months?
Yeah, it's a great question and I appreciate it. For me, I like to find these small moments in our house where reading and skill development can come to life. I mentioned the video game. I let my kid play that in the morning, activate his brain, get things moving. We also love to read together as a family.
Mhm.
But of course, your viewers can find out a little bit more of what we're up to. You can visit us at mrswordsmith.com KUSA-TV.com/science. You can learn about our products and the tools that we're building to help families bring this to life in their house, but also you can learn about the science of reading and how you can deploy it in your own home.
Got it. Well, super important. Thank you so much, Brandon, for such great information this morning. And please, parents, let's all join in and help our kiddos avoid that summer brain drain. Good to see you. Thank you again.
Good to see you. Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll spend a few moments of fun and game with your kid and MrsWordsmith.com. Keep improving their reading and writing outcomes online at MrsWordsmith.com, or you can also download the app.